CD squared has 51 minus degrees of freedom, making
I got hungry and I ate it. We're Americans and we only like competition, okay? I'm eating and I'm reading a book. And this waitress comes up.
I am a time traveler from the year 4020. I stole a time machine from the government. And I have traveled from the beginning of time to the end of time. And that's where I have picked up all of the instruments that I use during my show. I put my hands in animal traps. I hang weights for my piercings. I swallow a large sword. I love meeting all the people, being in front of crowds, and being able to travel. I have been doing this for about 15 years, performing sideshow on stage. How many shows I do a year? Almost one a weekend. So almost every weekend I have a show that I do. It's a little freaky for people, especially when we do events all ages. So doing all ages shows freaks some of the kids out, but most people are very receptive. The thing that would entice people to come see my show is if you've never seen a sword swallower before, you get to see one. And also at the end of my show, I let people staple money directly to my body. So if you want to be interactive and participate, you can do that as well.
All right, folks, there we blow with that parts of the intros, and then now we'll get into the other parts and the stuffs and the things, and yeah, here we blow with the rest of it.
Disclaimer: the views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the speakers, commentators, experts, and/or hosts. They do not explicitly or necessarily reflect nor represent the channel's policy or the views held by this channel or broadcaster. The broadcaster or its channel cannot be held accountable for all or any views expressed during this program.
It's just like Killer Cop 4, but she's got Hema instead of fry cook balls! I need you, Action Bastard! Action Bastard, I need you! Action Bastard, I need you! Why am I wasting time dancing?
You want to know why? Because the world is fucking flat, dog. And everything that you see up there, as far as like planets or stars, yeah, guess what, dude? It's fucking fake. It's just lights up there. The government put those lights up there so you dummies could just act like there's something up there.
Wait a second, are you a flat earther?
Call a crackhead.
You're stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're stupid. All right, let's bring in our co-host.
But some people without brains do an awful lot of talking, don't they?
Yes, I guess you're right.
And there's our brainless. How are yous?
Yeah, I'm pretty good. Pretty good.
Good.
Yeah.
I'm only freezing part of my tits off.
I had nice weather. Yeah.
Yeah. We're in the middle of a blizzard right now in Colorado. Most of the middle of Colorado is shut down, and I have to do a show in Longmont tomorrow. So that will be interesting to see how that goes. All right, let's play our next guest's intro, and it is our
Hello.
dog. How's it?
Howdy, howdy, howdy.
Doing
That's
good
the dog
here in
over
the UK. Doing good.
Yeah.
Nice.
Hello, chat.
Yes, speaking of that devil, let's go ahead and say hello to the side of my chats right quick, and then we will get into the meat, potatoes, and aliens, ETs, UFOs, and all the other silly shit that I have prepared for us. So we have a demons of the orbs, and they're already ready for the aliens. We have the deep state annex.
Hello, deep state. Amanda.
And we have a Ollie-man. And yes, I was supposed to be getting tattooed today, but it was canceled because the blizzard made it so that like a lot of things are kind of being shut down, and so we just have it for Monday. So whatever, that happens. And the reason why when I'm getting tattooed by certain people, it gets rescheduled so often is because it's being done for free or for trade or something like that. So it's not like I like put down a deposit and this person is just, like it's because the relationship that I have with my tattoo artists that we are able to keep rescheduling. That's not how it
still
normally is.
have? You mean had? Oh.
Totally. So that's why this happens sometimes. And then we have the trees.
Hey, trees.
The Sumami is here. I have paused my Duolingo. Awesome. Well, thank you for pausing that. What, if you don't mind us asking, what language are you learning on?
Well, if you look down, I already fucking asked that.
Okay, there we go. I see it now. Nice.
Dumbass.
Your mother's half German. You definitely, that makes sense. And then, hey, what's the back?
Ooh, what the back?
Hey,
What's
back.
up?
And NANA. All right. All right, let's get into. Let's see, what do I have first? I'll just close that. There's an unexplained encounter that happened in Sweden in 1987 that they claim to have seen UFOs. I don't know. We'll see. Here we go.
The incident in the small village of Bisberg in central Sweden in the winter of 1987 is one of the more unusual ones. Despite thorough investigations by serious investigators, the mystery of what really happened that night remains.
Ooh, spooky.
It is 5 minutes to 1 on the night of Thursday, December 31st, 1987. Karin and Rune Lagerstrand are fast asleep in their beds on this cold winter night when both Cinda, their border collie, and the cat make noises. They seem worried and want to go outside. A sleep-deprived Karin gets out of.
But if there was UFOs outside, why do the animals want to go outside? I get that if there was a disturbance outside, why they would
want to run. Then you want to run.
Okay, I guess they would be like, I feel trapped in this, so if I want to run, but you think they would want to hide? I don't know. I'm just gonna go over all the things that I consider.
There's no hiding from the aliens. There's no fucking hiding.
Well, there's no running from them. Well, there's no running for. Well, okay, I get that. Okay, for especially the border collie or the dog, it wants to protect the every. Okay, I'll go with that. I'm just gonna point out every time I see something sus about these stories, and
can I just say it all seems sus to me.
Well, that's exactly why we're
not
going
aliens,
and no, it's
well, I'm not gonna say it's aliens, but it's definitely not aliens because they will not spend their time coming over here.
Can somebody find that fucking? I don't know if there's actually a clip of him saying that, but there's a meme of it. But anyways, I found it, but it's on my other computer. It's not on this one. But the meme, if somebody can find that meme, that'd be great. And if not, a clip of him claiming, the guy with the wild hair, obviously we know who I'm talking about, saying something like that.
What? I don't know who.
No. The guy from Ancient Aliens. He's got like the weird, crazy, like fluffed up hair.
I just went with the wild hair theory.
Yeah, that guy. And if you don't know who we're speaking about, we'll be showing him soon. So anyways, let's keep blowing on with it. Yeah, of course it was the mothership stopping off in Sweden to land to sightsee after dropping me off. Exactly. I knew it. So anyways, let's keep blowing on with this incident.
Bed, pulls a sweater over her nightgown, and lets the animals out. Cinda hesitates and Karin urges her to go outside. The cat strokes her bare legs a few times before joining Cinda in the yard. A sparkling starry sky envelops the entire...
If your animals are trying to bolt outside as quick as possible, are you really going to go outside? Never mind. Let's keep going.
Entire neighborhood. A half-full moon hangs over the neighbor's birch trees. Cinda sniffs frantically at the week-old snow, while the cat stands still and looks out at the street. It is completely quiet and still. The cold bites into Karen's cheeks and she calls out several times for Cinda to hurry. Finally, the dog sits down to pee, and as soon as she is done, she runs back to the front door. The cat follows closely behind, and Karen can finally shut out the cold.
So the dog.
She takes off her sweater and crawls back.
Yeah, exactly. So there was an easy explanation for that. Or even if like any kind of disturbance is happening outside that the animals don't know of, they're going to want to investigate. But again, if this was like something majorly crazy, I think the animals would be more scared than curious. But I digress. Let's keep blowing on.
Is this narrated by Eric Dumas or Thomas or whatever his name is? That Black Earther?
It almost sounds like Eric Dubé. It's his cousin.
Right.
No, you're right. The speaking patterns is almost like Eric Dubé. And I don't know what this channel very well. Stories Lost.
It's probably him. Sock channel.
It probably is. I mean, I wouldn't put it past him to have like 16 million channels that he did stuff on, so he could just sit around and just jerk himself off or give himself head because he's a yoga teacher. So he can bend in those ways. Allegedly. Anyways. No, but I can imagine that he has like 20 channels that he just puts content on to get monetized and to make money doing nothing other than finding these weird stories and coming up with weird stories. Like, I don't even know if this is even a fucking true or false thing. Like, I don't know if this is a real story that somebody has like, or if this is just completely made up. I don't fucking know. I just thought when I looked into this more, I was like, this is kind of interesting. So let's look at it. And most of the time, I believe these things are fake, or obviously an incident happened. Not every time, because somebody can just make it up. But most of the time, like they say about fables and fairy tales and all that, there's a moniker of truth, right? There is a tiny bit, a straw of truth inside the hay bale, right? It came from somewhere. Somebody got an idea, some way, shape, or form, and then that's what led them into making up a story. Like, there may have been something in the woods they couldn't explain, but was it aliens? You know what I'm saying? Like, so let's keep blowing on.
You got God of the
hours.
Gaps and you got Aliens of the
But soon
Gaps.
Cinda is heard whimpering again, while the...
No, that's exactly what this is just like with hunters in the woods that think they saw Bigfoot, Sasquatch, or a handful of other things. They obviously saw something. They're not 100% making it up. But did they see a fucking bear with mange? Did they see something happening in a way that their eyes and brain and ears didn't see correctly? You know what I'm saying? Because we're us, all of the beings on this planet are flawed in a lot of ways about the way that we record information, the way we see, hear, and taste and smell. Like dogs and a handful of animals can't see. Is it reds? Is that what it is? That what the color that the dogs, whatever, like some animals are just black and white seeing.
Well, I believe that bulls at least can't see red, making it ironic that they always use a red thing to. Yeah,
they did a handful of people did tests where they just move things in different colors, and the more that you move something, the more the bull is attracted to it. That was all that they found out. For some reason, anyways, it doesn't matter. So once again, our senses are very, very flawed, and then every time that you recall an incident that happened in your life, you recall the last time that you recalled it. So you're losing your memory of that thing every time. Or once again, that you caught this big of a fish, but by the time you tell it to your friends a couple months later or everything, now you've caught a whale, and it always gets more exaggerated, and it's hard to remember exactly. Like, I think it's a crazy percentage of eyewitnesses that have been proven wrong, and or they've done a handful of studies about eyewitnesses where they put people in front of certain situations that are especially very rapid, like shootings. They staged shootings, they staged muggings, they staged a couple things, and then they were like, okay, what color pants were they wearing, what this, that, this, and then most of the time they did not get it right, even though they swore that they saw that thing the right way. So our brains and memories are not made, and our eyes are not made to actually
human eyewitnesses are very unreliable.
Yeah, exactly.
It's one of the least reliable things. Hey, Jasper.
And if you have any kind of mental things going on, starvation, dehydration, hypothermia, or any other weird, crazy thing going on, other than like maybe you need to be under some kind of medication for mental status as well. Who knows what people like?
Or simple paranoia.
Exactly, and that's exactly like when the gang stalking thing we went over, or
just a dumbass.
Somebody tells you that, if you go into those woods, there's that goddamn Jersey Devil, and you're like, oh, so if you see some weird shit, you're like, it's the Jersey Devil, run, I don't want to die, right? It's what is it called? A fight or flight. If you think that you see the eyes of a tiger in a bush, you're gonna fucking run, because that is what's gonna make you survive. So was it a tiger? You don't fucking know, but you decided to assume that it was, and before finding out, you left, and then you're gonna go back to the village and go, man, this tiger almost fucking got me, bro. And you're like, well, it could have just been like reflections of anything that made you think that pareidolia is a motherfucking thing, obviously, because we know that a mud fossil university motherfucker and a handful of other people that are like, can't you tell those are giant trees that are plateaus? No, it's a plateau, you dumb cunt. Like, it's just mountain forms that decide that the material that it's made out of does whatever, which broke off flat at the top and then turned itself somewhat round because of other, it's just the way that the earth is, and not magic fucking giant trees that you think is the the all-knowing tree. Or there's some weird tree in the Bible that they all claim that it is that one of the something or something and the things and stuff.
Not a clue.
Yeah, and drugs and trauma and a handful of other things cloud your memory, and a handful of other things where you misremember things. So anyways,
brain is a fickle thing.
Yeah, exactly. There's so many things that can. Have you ever gotten the flu and had hallucinations from the flu? I have. Oh, I have. That shit was fucking crazy. Although I've taken a lot of hallucinogens of all different types and natural, and like I've done Datura, San Pedro, and a handful of other thingy mabobbers, which were not fun highs. Like, there's a reason why people do LSD and mushrooms and not San Pedro or not Datura and peyote and a handful of other ayahuascas and shit. Like, I know there's a lot of people that take, ayahuasca, but it's not that fun of a fucking high. Like, it makes you flip the fuck out, but it's not fucking cool. Like,
well, Becca probably knows this because he's medical. apparently, if you get to a certain temperature, you can hallucinate if you warm up.
Yeah.
And I think that's why you have the hallucinations while having the flu and a couple other things. Yeah, exactly. The high fever will make you hallucinate. And I've had that happen like 3 times in my life to where, dude, my existence was fucking out there, dude. Well, that's probably why I'm so brain dead or so stupid. I probably fried my brain too many times getting a fever. Yes, and Beck said the same thing, springboarding off of what Dog said. Yes, so high fevers can do that. It's not the getting the flu or having the flu. It's your brain is trying to burn it out of your system, right? I think that's why you get a fever, is it's trying to burn everything out or something like that. And so if it gets too high of a temperature, yes. And I guess for me, my mom worked as a nurse, and so when I got to certain points, I was like, this is not right. Like my tongue feels weird. I'm tasting stuff that's not there, and there's weird spots. This was before I ever did hallucinogens. The first couple times, I was like, there's spots everywhere, and my mom's like, oh shit, and then she put her hand on my forehead and was like, whoa, okay. Yeah, we need to get you cooler. And so then they started cooling me down with a handful of different things. But anyways, your memory and what you recall is fucking shite. So anyways, and it totally does. I don't wish that upon anybody going through that fever hallucinations.
The cat meows and
It's
tramples
also
on
the
the
often
bedspread.
Fraser side of things that your eyes could just simply deceive you. I think this is where the only thing flat earthers get right is that their eyes are just deceiving them. It's just simple, like haze on a hot road and things like that.
Yeah, exactly. And optical illusions are a motherfucking thing. If you don't think they are, go and Google top 10 optical illusions, and there'll be a video that it will show you. Like, there was this really cool thing that somebody showed us a long time ago in person. They took a white square, a black square, and then a gray square or something, and then they put them over each other, or they did something like that, and you're like, that's gray, and then they're like, nope, and it was white or whatever. It's just the way that your brain
it has to do with how your brain deals with perspective and shadows.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah,
it's how your brain perceives shadows or
I
something.
know exactly what kind of thing you're talking about, but that is so freaky.
And then there's damn, what's it called? Not Mysterious Mountain, Superstition Mountain, and it has one of those places where supposedly gravity doesn't exist, and you're walking up a board or something like that, and your perception of everything is off because they fucking manicured the way they built everything, right? So they put, you can roll a ball uphill, but it's not, because it's just the perspective you're at, and then the way that they painted stuff to when you put the ball down, it looks like it goes uphill, or that you're walking crookedly even though it's technically flat, but your eyes are making you walk weird, and you're like, wait, it's flat, what the fuck, one of those optical illusion places.
Yeah, we got one of those things here in one of the theme parks around here.
Yeah, there's there's 7 of them. There's 7 of them around the country. And when we were in Washington or something like that, we stopped at one of them when we were on tour, and then I've been to 2 more, and then I think, if I'm remembering this properly, Knott's Berry Farm has a version of that as well in their theme park in California. So once again, it's all perspective and what you think is going on.
Karen tries to get her husband to go out this time. Cinda begins to growl and bark.
Why do y'all want to go outside?
Since her husband shows no signs of waking up, Karen decides to ignore the animals, as they have just been outside. But they don't give up and continue in the same manner until shortly after 3 o'clock, when her husband finally wakes up and they both decide to get up and get dressed to find out what the animals are up to. While Karen gets dressed, she looks out the bedroom window, hoping to see
Of course, Karen. No, I'm just kidding.
something that might explain everything.
Exactly what I
Maybe
was
some
gonna
wild
say.
animal that is scaring the dog and the cat, but she doesn't see anything. She opens.
I was gonna for a second be like, why aren't you grabbing your shotgun and your goddamn revolver and going outside and shooting at it? And I'm like, oh, it's Sweden. It's not the Americas. Never mind. They probably don't have guns.
Nope. Probably not. Baby farmers.
That's how dumb American I am. Well, they are. I think they would be. I believe this. I believe this happened in the middle of fucking nowhere. So I would believe they should be able to have some kind of things like that. But again, my dumbass American brain is like, why ain't they getting out their AK-47s? And
if it's a burglar and they shoot him by accident, then they're probably in deep shit for killing someone.
Yeah, sure. No, totally.
Not like America. You are my grandson, I kill you.
Well, yeah, and unfortunately for the idiots that think that works, look what just happened to the dude who shot the girl who accidentally drove up into his driveway, and he shot her dead, like a 16-year-old little girl. And
yeah,
it was
I really don't get
no,
like,
that's not.
If you're standing your ground and like,
yeah, that's
okay,
different, yeah.
But like if a car drives up your driveway, what person in their right mind starts shooting immediately?
Yeah, no, it's insane.
That's like, no, in cases like that, I think stand your ground should be put aside and said like, no, you just shot at a random person.
Yeah, that's so for killing that girl, hey, Desk, he got 25 years, and he may get longer. I don't know if they actually gave him his sentences, but they did say you're motherfucking guilty of fucking being a douche nozzle. And the judge at the time was like, you showed no remorse. You talked about on the witness stand about how you're going to fix up your house right after you get out of jail, blah, blah, blah. He's like, no, homie, you're going to jail for as long as I can put you in jail, pretty much. Yeah, no, it was completely
25 years.
16-year-old girl.
Holy fuck, man, that would have been more than half the life I've lived by now.
Yeah, see, that was more. But he's already 60. He's like in his 50s or 60s. I don't remember. But go ahead.
Here's how we see, because America gun laws are fucked. And we see it like this. A little kid, hey, mama, look at my prize and my Happy Meal. A loaded 44. And the mother says, yeah, but no guns in the house. It's just fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
You guys are fucking nuts. I remember speaking to a guy in Key West. He was delivering, he did all the towel deliveries from Miami all along the Keys to the hotels and whatnot. Or he was the laundry service. And he was saying, if you shot someone that was running from your property, but you shot him in the street, you can be done for that. And what you need to do is drag him back onto your land and wipe up the blood that was on the street, and you get away with it.
Yeah, that's always that's always the joke. Hey, Troy. But yeah, Troy. And yeah, she was 16 years old, drove up into the wrong person's house because her GPS sent her to the wrong place, or somebody gave her the wrong address. So she was supposed to be like 2 doors down or something like that. And homie just came out of his house and just like, I think I don't remember. I don't remember. I want to say that he shot 3 times, but he may have unloaded the clip. I don't remember. But dude, like what punch crack are you smoking?
Who would mag dump? Like, well, if you're that stupid that you immediately shoot at anybody coming up your driveway, you're a mag dump, big head. Like, you're not gonna shoot just once or twice. You're gonna make sure they're dead.
No, I know, and that's why I don't remember, but whatever. So let's keep blowing on with this, because again, I have so much more fun to get into.
It's the front door, and both animals go out. Cinda runs down to the flagpole and stops dead in her tracks. She tucks her tail between her legs, and her teeth are chattering in her jaws. Thinking she must have seen a badger, Karen rushes back into the house to exit the house through the kitchen, toward the flagpole. As she walks through the kitchen, she notices that it is now 3:30. And as soon as she steps out the kitchen door, she smells a very strong odor of sulfur. And when she looks up, she sees an ice blue object shaped like a giant light bulb, hanging at the height of some birch trees, about 1,500 feet away from her. The object has a cold metallic blue color, while an aura of light gray haze with splashes of orange surrounds it. Although the object glows, none of the light is reflected in the trees. It is wider than it is high, and later Karen estimated the size to be 20 by 26 feet. While Karen is standing there, things start to happen at the bottom of the object. She sees a neck-shaped opening where lightning bolts come out that resemble long spears. They are straight like lances with a point at the front. The spears shoot out from the object all the time, one by one. It seems that the lightning is somehow ejected and then pulled back.
Okay, so
it's one of those lightning bolts?
We already kind of know what this is. It's ball lightning. We have like many cases of people experiencing this, and what we have come to find out, they happen more and more around places that there is electrical electricity, like there may be a transmitter or transistor or the electrical block that runs all of there may be some, if it's over or around other things, then it's most likely probably ball lightning. If it was out in the middle of the forest, it happens less because it usually happens around where we have set up and put in huge generators and other things.
With the magnetic fields that the wires create.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it is. They normally happen around. Hey Harry, if we've not said hello to you, and
you're a subscriber, Harry.
Nice.
Sorry.
Yes, and they happen a lot around train stations and train tracks and other things. That's where they seem to be more prevalent because there's a lot of
electricity.
Hey Al, yeah, electrical fields that are all going around each other and mixing together, and so eventually, we don't know exactly why, and I'm not even going to assume exactly why these become a visual thing for us to see, but it obviously happens for something like that. And if this was, I know this is just like an animation, and it's probably not exactly like this, but if it's near other things, that's mainly why these things do happen. How are you doing, Al?
I'm doing all right. I heard there was a stream today.
Yes.
And I've been working like one-armed paper hanger. And now I'm driving my rig back to the yard.
Awesome. Well, thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course, always.
What the fuck did I walk in on?
Yeah, I know. Just listen to what she's gonna say in a second. And
all right.
Yeah, she mommy's right.
I honestly don't know if we've ever seen alien technology here yet, but I do believe there's a lot of crazy things in the sky, and anything,
but like
anything coming into our atmosphere.
Technology is already much farther. Like there are much faster computers than you can get now. They already exist, but like
military. Yeah, exactly. Some military testing and stuff like that.
Like the ones they do fake space CGI on, maybe. The ones they faked the lunar landing with back in the 60s.
Oh yeah, totally. Those ones.
Those are the ones, right?
Yeah, totally. So is the military always testing things that we don't know about and they can look like weird? Sure.
Of course.
There's also like things going through the atmosphere, like space trash, a handful of other things. You don't know when a private company is always testing things in the sky, and a handful of other things.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think that they're like little gray dudes that are sticking probes up people's butts.
They ain't. Yeah, and if they like to put stuff up people's butts, then why didn't they pick up Slim or me?
Exactly. And the other thing is what we normally come to find out is it's usually Cletus and his homies. They get you really, really drunk on moonshine and then end up cornholing you, and while they're wearing alien masks. That's normally what the
Is that the way it usually goes?
Yeah, that's how.
Slim, I really don't get it. Why did it gotta make me drunk? Why can't I enjoy it?
Like maybe they don't like a receptive audience.
Yeah, no, they like you to not be awake. Anyways, let's keep going on with
Yeah, but I like being awake.
Yeah, well, unfortunately. So yeah, and then once again, why are they coming here to probe our butts? They could be doing so many other things. And anyways, and are there aliens in the galaxies and somewhere far, far away? Sure. I just don't know 100% or think that we've come close enough for them to actually have come here and or to show themselves. But I don't have 100% proof that that isn't a thing. I just know that some of the things we're going to go over, like today,
the likelihood
are probably other things.
The likelihood that they've come here is so small.
It's
far more likely than some other shit. But I'd like to know, why are they all amateur proctologists?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Why aren't they dentists? Why aren't they like fixing our teeth or something?
Nobody ever says, hey, they gave me a filling that made me psychic or some shit like that.
They gave
like
me pearly whites
type thing, you know? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like why don't they show us how to whiten your teeth without like destroying your enamel? Why don't they bring us something like that?
Why aren't they giving us free boob jobs and penis enlargements? Jeez, come on, aliens.
Why can't the probing machine give you a cheeky reach around?
Oh, they might.
Yeah, exactly. At least give me a reach around and or get me dinner first and buy me flowers or something. I don't know, but come on before you stick it in my butt. Anyways, hey Jedi.
Well, Slim, you're from the future. Like, had we discovered alien technology then?
Yeah, at that point,
he's not allowed to say because that'll change the
timeline or what?
But at this point, yes, we have alien technology that we're using. Let's put it that way.
I mean, didn't Sigourney Weaver like travel all over the damn galaxy with like a VIC-20 running like a giant spaceship?
Sure.
Like, look at the technology in the original Alien movie. I mean, they were like they had little CRT TVs, the kind like you'd use to, be the security system in like 1978.
Exactly similarly, yes. I
Which
think
is
we had
exactly
a
what
couple
that
of those
looked
small
like.
TVs. Yeah, no, totally. I had a couple of those small TVs that we used when we would go and camping in the desert, and you could like hook it up and put a big ass antenna on it and kind of get like maybe half of a channel. Anyways, let's keep blowing on, and I'll be right back. I'm going to grab another burr, and then we'll go on with more of this. We're only going to go a little bit further into this because we're pretty much like I just wanted us to hear what she says the encounter was.
We made it through the whole video because I wasn't here.
Okay, rewind the whole thing. No, I'm just kidding.
You should have been on time, you fucking cunt.
We've never been. Let's face it, we've never got through a whole video yet.
No, and literally, this is the beginning of it. You didn't miss anything, Al. Literally, this is her explaining exactly what her experience with this UFO. So you're like on time.
Back into the sphere. As she stands there, dressed only in her nightgown and a sweater, something happens that scares the hell out of her. Karen can feel her jaw clenching, and she gets goosebumps all over her body. But worst of all, she gets the feeling that something is sucking on her forehead over her left eye. Karen says afterwards, "I was paralyzed. I couldn't call for help and I couldn't get out of there. It was horrible. I was so scared that I was completely destroyed. My husband had gone back to bed and I couldn't call out to him. I was just shaking." After about 5 minutes, the object suddenly disappears, sideways and down, and only then can she move again. But just as she turns around, her right shoulder blade stings. Just before her husband went back to sleep, he heard a buzzing sound like a car idling and thought it was the oil boiler that was acting up. But he was so tired that he didn't get up to check it. He later said that he also felt anxious and that the air seemed heavy. In the morning, he also discovered that his wristwatch had stopped.
Yeah.
And what we've come to find out from experiences with ball lightning and stuff like that, it will make the air feel heavy around that area because it's ionized. and other things can stop working, and other blah 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 things happen around that. So this all
Yeah,
just again sounds like they
like probably not a watch with a battery, but if it's a wind-up watch, the static electricity can actually stop it.
Yeah, so a lot of these things seem to have been told what we have heard from people that have experienced ball lightning and have recorded it and then gave their experience, and then we know kind of what that is. Swamp gas or swamps do certain things as well with the gases that come out of them, and they'll light and they'll do a handful of things as well.
Smell weird, make your skin crawl.
Yeah, and
I
you'll
assume
go
the
through.
next scene in this video is the forensic investigation of the wristwatch.
Yeah,
where
the
determined that cause was
FBI came
definitely
and they
alien,
pulled it apart.
right?
Yeah,
Okay.
totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I'm okay. Cue that up now. I want to see that part.
And cue. All right.
When Karen comes back in, the kitchen clock shows 25 minutes to 4 in the morning. Although the object is gone, the smell of sulfur remains. Both her dog and she smell of sulfur. Her skin is still lumpy, and her jaw feels stiff. While she makes coffee, the dog and cat calm down. Karen gives Cinda some candy.
And then once again, the sulfur thing can also be a handful of other things that are like could have been coming from the ground, and that they somehow not exactly ignited, but caused almost like what swamp gas does, or
Yeah, but also if you have something that like if lightning and stuff and other high voltage that ionizes the air, that will put a specific smell in the air.
And if you've never smelt that, and
you may not know how to describe it.
Yeah, and you probably would say that it would smell like what they're describing. And then once again, they were talking about the time thing. So
or maybe she just farted and she smelled eggs.
Well,
well, maybe their septic tank just needed work. Like, has anybody thought of that?
Or she could have just like opened up her legs and never mind.
Oh, geez, that's uncalled for.
I thought this was.
Yeah.
I already watched two Shanny streams. I already watched two Shanny streams. Okay.
I thought this was a family show. Anyways, and then the other thing they were talking about is
whose family is the show for?
The Addams family.
Yeah.
Anyways, they also were talking about the time stuff. Clocks and or digital devices, if they were hit with a surge of electronic pulse or a handful of other things, and if it's a battery operated and blah blah blah, it can cause it to either slow down or stop or block, other things. So the anomalies happening with your electronics can still be explained from some of these anomalies that we've talked about already. So let's blow on just a little bit more, and then we'll get to the next one, which is, I think, hilariously silly. And I think we're all going to fall in our chairs laughing, and hopefully we don't bust a gut from it.
Andy, and the cat goes to sleep in the closet. Around 4 o'clock, Rune takes Cinda for her usual walk and smells a strong creosote-like odor. Cinda is nervous and sniffs around, and sometimes she huddles together. On New Year's Day, Karen discovers a long burn mark on the back of the sweater she was wearing. And 4 days after the incident, a faint smell still lingers in the air around the house. Karen also had headache.
Lightning!
That could be a thing, and there's like other things that could static electricity and other, whatever. This doesn't. I don't know.
Even
there's
like
not enough.
I've seen situations where there's been a power surge that's blowing out electric equipment, and the smell of the burnt insulation and stuff, and other and the oils that encase transformers and stuff like that will linger for a long time, especially if they're in an enclosed area or something like that. There could have been like something else that happened that was brought on by this that, I don't know the situation, but there's a lot of things that could hold on to an odor for a week.
And and there's so many things that this could have been other than aliens. But anyways, so I'm going to go back because I'm on the same page with you, Sumami. It was a strong
sulfur odor. Sulfur odor.
Sulfur.
They That's what. Okay, hold on.
I
hold
know
on.
what it
Let's
was
see.
now. I know what it. Oh,
Huddles
they gave us the
together.
clue.
What?
It was the devil.
Totally. Exactly.
He came from hell with his bifurcated tail and his.
So what they're actually saying is a strong creosote like odor. So let's go
creosote,
back.
okay.
Yeah, let's go back to
No-
that because now they're saying it's
Yeah.
a new odor for this time.
I know that odor very well.
It was just
What is
demon orb.
creosote?
Well, being the devil, it does take out the ridiculous concept that it is aliens.
Yeah, no,
Well, it would,
definitely
but
Satan.
Fucking devil.
aliens slightly more likely than the devil.
Oh, what are you saying? My father's not real? Satan's not. Never mind. Let's keep. So yeah. So what is that thingy-mabobber that they said it smelled like?
Sulfur.
But
No,
somebody
Creole.
mentioned creosote. Creosote.
Yeah. What's that?
I know that smell because I've hauled a lot of railway ties. And I've also worked in buildings where creosote was used to treat big timbers and stuff. They don't use it so much anymore. It's a major skin irritant, and if you inhale too much of it, it can make you breathe funny. It is a very strong odor.
You coat all that stuff with it.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah,
so it protects timbers. It's a wood treatment. Yeah.
Yeah, it's used to
I
wood
think I
protect
know.
wood.
Okay, I think I know what you're speaking about, and it's fucking very strong. So that's supposedly what they smelt here during this episode. In the past, they said that they smelt what dogs said, but now they're saying it smells like this.
Will
Other
walk and smells a strong creosote-like odor. Cinda is nervous and sniffs around, and sometimes she huddles together. On New Year's Day, Karen discovers a long burn mark.
Goddamn Karen finding burn marks. Okay, so let's get into just barely into the investigation.
Lies the burn mark on Karen's sweater. Some UFO investigators
Wait,
sent it
somebody
to the
actually
Swedish Defense
investigated
Research Agency for analysis.
Yes, some Swedish UFO investigators sent it to the research agency for analysis.
And by the end of June 1988, the answer came. The so-called burn mark was not a burn mark. The dark color was caused by fibers of a different and darker type being welded to the fibers of the sweater. The fact that a bundle of fibers was both transported and welded to the shirt in this way indicated a strong electrostatic phenomenon, with local...
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. Like literally, we don't need to go further into this because that's exactly what happened. Some kind of anomaly happened.
Well, certainly you
to
don't
them
think
because of-
electrostatics are a natural thing that happens on Earth.
until you get in front of or around jumping cactus, and you get like, well, as you're walking, you get like 20 cactuses that just stick themselves to you. If you don't know that it's static electricity, yeah, if you didn't know it's static electricity, it looks freaky as fuck. But once you find out how that it works and why it does it, then you're like, God damn, motherfucker. So you kind of, you know how cowboys walk bow-legged?
Yeah, I do.
It's usually from riding horses and stuff, but you learn how to walk bow-legged in the desert around them because it's your pants rubbing together that cause the static electricity around your legs in your jeans that causes the dry cactus bulbs. They're like usually like this big around, and they connect together. And when they dry out in the summer, they have seeds inside of them, and what they do is they just launch themselves like 5 feet or 2 feet to get to you and stick into your pants or your leg, and then you take that somewhere and then eventually drop it, supposedly. And that's what it's doing, is trying to spread itself to, that's the way the seed is put into new places. Unlike
wait, that's sexual assault.
I know, it totally is.
Yeah.
I
Like
wish it would
What's this thing you're talking about here, Slim? A cactus?
Yeah, it's called jumping cactus, and it literally will jump at you.
What's a cactus? What's a cactus? Is that like a,
Oh my
like a special
Jeebus
kind of
Christ! You know
evergreen
what a
tree, or like?
son of a Beavis.
I'm a fucking Canadian. Where the fuck would I have seen a cactus?
Okay, hold on,
In
hold
your
on.
house,
Let me
in
find
the
it.
store,
Let me
like
find it.
even this Dutch cunt knows what a cactus is. And I even know that he did the plural wrong because I believe it's cacti.
Cacti.
Sure.
Cacti. Yeah. Oh well,
Okay,
now
so
I know what it is.
Okay.
Don't you think those windmills dry everything out there, Brainless? All the windmills you have dry out the ground and make it a desert full of cacti?
Yeah, let's keep it at that.
All right.
Okay, I don't know which one is going to be the. Sure, let's go. Let's go with this. Let's go with this. Hey, see what's on his
I thought
shoe?
we learned we don't kick them.
There's more of them. Nope. So the
Hey,
cactus.
yes.
So the cactus that's right here. Let me use this. So the cactus that's right here. It grows these little knobs, not like little balls that are like the size of like mangoes or yeah,
Did
I'm
you
just gonna say that.
Did you just do knobs and mango in one thingy?
Of course I did.
That could be misinterpreted, Slim. I think you should.
I know.
pick
That's
your
exactly
words
why I
very
said it that way.
carefully. Okay,
That's why I said it that
you're
way.
going for that. I see.
Yes,
Okay.
I was
My
totally going.
mistake.
So, anyways, so what they do is, like I said, they dry out and they turn themselves into these little bulbs, and they dry out, and then when you get close to them, they launch themselves to you.
Sounds like a burr.
Let's try. Let's see if we can do it this way. Jesus. Let's see if he shows this.
Hello, everybody. Here we are out in the Arizona desert. We're on the Apache Trail tour. Now, this is a little side of the tour. They took us off the main trail to show us some of the different forms of cacti. There are many different types, but this one here is the most dangerous of them all. It's called the jumping cholla. Now, it doesn't jump out at you, but to show you why they call it jumping, it's very delicate. You can just drop it like that. Ah, yeah, don't get your hand.
No. It literally, it will fall off and it will jump at you. It's insane. Yeah. Anyways, look it up and check it out. I have been attacked by it so many fucking times, and I've gotten it into so many places in my lower body. I don't know, even probably in my hands and stuff. But it goes off static electricity. Once those little balls fall to the ground, anything that brushes by and causes some kind of static charge, because of the way the spines are, how it's hollow with these seeds, it literally jumps, and that's why they call it the jumping cholla, because it literally will jump onto you.
It sounds like what we call a burr around here.
Yeah,
Like
but
you just walk by them. This thing actually like launches off the plant, though. I guess, eh?
Yeah. Well, yes and no. It normally will fall on the ground, but you'll see it like move towards you, like not very close. Like I've had them jump at me from kind of far away, and yeah, cacti.
Right.
And anyways, and that's just static electricity that causes it to push itself into you, so that you'll take it with you for as long as you can stand it being inside of you or on you.
It's like a
right, so
propagation technique that it's evolved to have to increase
totally.
its diversity as a plant, right?
Yeah, no, it's definitely an evolutionary advantage that it has to propagate its species by getting you to take it. Because if you're a furred creature,
yeah,
and it gets
I am a furred creature.
I know, yes, and it gets on you, you may take it a mile or two before you decide to rub it off of you or somehow get it off of you. Because at that point it may not be in your skin. We're one of the only creatures that don't have like an actual protection against stuff and things. I mean, and the lizards out there, the turtles, the tortoises, everything has hair or other things that are protecting it. We're the only creatures that for some reason do not have a very good protective outer layer because we're a bunch of
Slim?
Karens. Yeah.
Slim?
Speak for
Okay,
yourself.
okay. Here I gotta educate you for a second. We
Sure.
do. It's just you choose not to wear it. We call it clothing.
Yeah.
Oh well,
Yeah,
that's
I know,
different.
but
That's different.
yeah, but in nature.
I'm a hairy mofo, so I don't know what
Yeah.
you're talking about.
Well, I'm hoping that if one of those ever tried to attach itself to you, that it would only get caught in your hair. But like, oh my Jesus, I have had to
I'm
pull
afraid
those
it would
things.
get in the short and curly ones if I was walking around like with my
Yes.
noodle hanging out there or something like that.
Yeah, well, don't walk
right.
around the desert out here with that, because there's a lot of things that might get you.
I wouldn't
Alright,
want to get sand in my hole either. That sounds terrible.
Yeah, we have our Schizma Crasher, who is our channel sponsor, in the Cinema Chats, and here is their promos.
You know what we could say to that cat?
Yeah. Exactly, Emily. All right, well, welcome there, and here we go with Dr. Jonathan Reed and his alien encounter on the 15th of October, 1996.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, just wait.
There's more.
Okay, I'm gonna do this for a second. Okay, so supposedly this is the head of an alien, and that's the body, and he's gonna just like pant for like 45 seconds, and then I'll let him talk because he's doing nothing but panting like this. After he supposedly hit this thing in the head.
And the Oscar doesn't go to
this dude.
This guy.
Okay, so once again, this is the head, and this is the body, and then here is. Now there's supposedly a gray triangle floating.
When was
and once
this?
again, he is just
1996.
96. Okay. So, no, I was just with the video quality. I was like,
it's very, yeah, no, it's one of the fucking handheld tape, like the full size VHS tapes, probably put into a thing. The only thing that like is sus about this, obviously everything, but he's also asking it to work while he's shooting it. He every time it shakes, he's
he
like,
sounds scared. Why is he still filming? Why is he running away?
I don't know. That's again why this is so weird.
No. He ain't panting because he's scared. They're probing him.
Look at this.
You think something else is going on there?
And
look how small that thing is. I mean, come on.
Yeah. Exactly.
That's all he can carry out into the woods, obviously.
Yeah. Okay, so now he has the body that he dragged home.
Wait, he murdered one? He should go to jail.
Yeah.
He murdered him.
Well, an alien though, right?
Yeah, still,
Yeah,
it's person.
But do
he
you
murdered
think
him.
that the international governance of alien
intergalactic government?
Yeah. You think they would be okay with this happening? Of course not. But he supposedly hit it in the head once or 3 times with a shovel or something, and then that's how he killed it. Supposedly,
head fell off.
Yeah, no, it totally is filmed on a potato for sure.
Hit it with a shovel and its head fell off.
And then why did you wrap it in foil, you weirdo?
He's gonna barbecue it.
Yeah, exactly. It's barbecue.
Oh wait, he's an Aussie.
Yeah. Put another shrimp on the bobby. All right, let's let him unwrap it first, and then I think he starts speaking like right now. It looks like a fucking dummy or a doll or nothing. And then once again, why are you panting so hard, you weirdo?
How come the head reattached itself?
I'm just working hard, man.
I don't know, and it doesn't make any sense, and it's so blurry and like
Wait, the
weird.
coloring changed so fucking dramatically at one point. Go back a bit, like because that hat changed color.
Yeah, it's going from turquoise to.
Yeah, he doesn't know how to white balance. I think that's probably the main part of this. But look at how fucking fake this thing looks. Just watch. I mean, it's really, really fucking hard to see. I understand that. But, like, just everything looks so fake throughout this whole
thing that looks more fake. I guess not.
And then that part, and then now it's green all of a sudden for no reason. And yeah. No, it's totally fake. If somebody is really good at making special effects, but definitely it's not real. Who just joined us? Hey, Mary.
Yeah, UFO.
Welcome.
UFO footage. Wow.
Yeah, we're going over aliens.
Apparently.
Yes. And now we're going to go over some of the clearest UFO footage compilation. So you're welcome, everybody. Here we go.
Well, if it's clear what they are, then they ain't UFOs.
Oh, crap. Okay. Yeah, it's just going to be music, so we're just going to just show the clips. It is a balloon. It's just a balloon from a party that got put into the atmosphere.
And that thing wasn't moving that fast. It was the plane that was moving fast.
Yeah, and its perspective is so zoomed in, so it makes it seem like it is, because those waves are actually pretty tall.
Yeah. Ooh, a laser.
Oh yeah, blind the pilot that's fucking flying so that it fucking falls out of the sky. Yeah, that's great. Just
Slim, that's a moth or something. That's
totally
much closer than that they make you think it is.
Yeah, because look at the quality of the video. The quality of the video is fucking shite. It's like fucking potato. I mean, like, it's not fucking great. And yeah, of course.
Oh my!
And look at all
goodness.
okay, why do all the other things look exactly like it, but it's the thing that's moving? Obviously, you're not in focus.
That's what a moth looks like.
And once again, things like this.
Meteor? Oh!
Well, no.
Missile?
Well...
Or footage from a rocket launch?
Sure, and it also could be something that is a ball that the camera is just not taking enough frames of, and then it looks like it's elongated for some reason.
That could also be the case.
Because once again, this is shite fucking footage. It's not high quality, so
definitely not.
It could be a motherfucking frisbee that somebody threw 10 feet away in just your perspective, because look at how it's all zoomed in. This, if it was zoomed out, we may be able to see a horizon or something else that we're looking at. And then it just goes away, and then so real speed. Yeah, there was a little thing over the side. I mean, once again, anomalies happen.
Meteor?
Really, or a rocket launch, and that is the propulsion blah 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 from it doing its. Yeah, no, it's definitely a rocket because that is it going through its multiple phases of getting
Yeah,
the
like
atmosphere.
the less atmosphere there is, I don't know, but it could also be just blur.
You don't know how to focus.
That's a flat Earth star. That was a flat Earth star, aka something out of focus.
It literally was just you not knowing how to use your fucking camera, and what you did is you put it in autofocus or you put it in auto, and it didn't know what to do with what it was seeing. That's an easy thing for everybody to do. So yeah, I mean, silly. There's so many things that could be. A drone, a freaking rocket that somebody shot up, that it's a little itty bitty fucking like toy thing, you know? It could be on a wire.
Not toy, model. In that
so
case,
many fucking things.
In that case, it's not a toy, but a model, Slim. Like that. Those ain't toys.
Yeah, sure, a model. The way that it's flying, this could be fucking. It's fake. This was made on a computer by somebody. Yeah, there's no way this is fucking real. It's definitely made in.
Yeah, that was fake.
A drone that has lights on it or something.
Could be.
There's a lot of things these things can be. Military testing.
Fighter jets.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Oh
yeah,
no, but they're following something. But okay, then I want to see the footage from those fighter jets.
Yeah, exactly. If we're looking at this little, that's a drone going down there. It's a drone.
Oh yeah, that's so clear.
Birds. Oh, never mind.
What are they following?
They're just following something that looks round-esque, but that doesn't mean it's not test equipment. You're zoomed in way too much, so I can't even tell you the beginning of what any of this could be. And once again, the quality is so fucking bad that who knows?
Well, that's because of it.
It's totally.
No, that's an angel. That's an angel. That ain't a UFO. That's an angel.
Oh, it's an angel.
There could be so many things that is. In Turkey. All right. Dude, they're just way
inside of Turkey
for like.
Never knew that was inside.
That's what it looks like when you fist a turkey. Okay. So let's go to.
I think you're doing something wrong there, Slim. If that's.
Oh, am I not supposed to fist the turkey that way? Okay.
You're supposed to pull out the giblets and use them to make the soup stock, or you can eat them because they're full of protein.
Okay, all right. Yeah. Okay, let's see about this.
I'd rather read something else.
Exactly what this is. No, I don't think this is that great of a story. Let's go into 20 terrifying people who claim to be from space. Let's go to that. Yeah.
I had that one lined up to go watch.
Right? However, there are those among us who claim that they aren't from this planet, or at least had a close encounter with creatures that are not from Earth. From a boy who allegedly lived on Mars in his past life to a man from another universe. Here are 20 terrifying people who claim to be from space. Number 20. Russian Mars boy. Boris Kiprianovich, born on January 11, 1996, is a young boy who rose to fame for his claims about being a Martian in his past life. Sounds quite impossible, right? At a young age, Boris immediately caught the attention of many for his incredible intelligence. At just 4 months, he could already speak words. and by 8 months,
citation needed. Like, I don't believe that he was speaking full words at that age. And just because he can like draw things, like I think his parents were just like pushing a lot of this. And my example of this will be shown later because of the ending of this segment. Let's put it that way.
he was speaking complete sentences. It also seemed like he had a natural inclination toward astronomy. At the age of 7, Boris first gained attention when he told detailed stories about his past life on Mars.
Yeah, how many kids do you know that run up to you 6 years old or 10 that are like, this one time I went to this thing and like I lived on a planet and then the moon and then I had a cow on there, and then you're like, yeah, okay, whatever, you know.
And I went to band camp.
Parents, yeah, his parents just fucking took what he said way too motherfucking seriously, because that's what kids tell you is weird fucked up stories, and you're like, yeah, totally, Billy. What the fuck? You know, like
during a family camping trip. These stories were so compelling that they caught the attention of a professor who was present and led to coverage in the Russian newspaper Pravda. In an extensive interview at the age of 11, Boris described civilizations on Mars and how they were nearly destroyed by nuclear war. He claimed to be reborn on Earth with a mission to help prevent a similar fate here. He also mentioned other indigo children like himself, who were supposedly Martians reborn on Earth. He made an enigmatic prediction about the Sphinx in Egypt, unlocking a significant change for humanity. Despite his early fame, Boris, as of
and none of that came to fruition, and everything that he said, nothing came of it. And then what happened to him now?
2023 would be 27 years old and has largely faded from the public eye.
Oh, but you were sent here as an alien from another thing to come here to make sure we didn't go into war, and you were supposed to be a public figure for the rest of your life because you were this. Oh, now you're not. You don't want to be in the spotlight. Yeah, no, you grew up. And
He's
you
in
were
a
like,
fucking asylum, isn't he? He's obviously in an asylum somewhere.
No. He probably grew up and was like, oh my god, my parents were fucking idiots. Like, oh my god, my parents fucking just like led me on to like either make money off of me and or were fucking, they were the crazy ones. I think that he just fucking figured it out. Like, oh my Jesus, like they I'm not the thing that they led me on to be. I hope that that's what happened, but you're right. He may be in a mental hospital right now, but I believe that he is just living a normal life, being like, I'm not a fucking starseed. I'm not a
maybe his parents pushed that, and like if there were civilizations on Mars, we would know by now.
Yeah, again, once again, yeah, exactly.
I was a kid with an overactive imagination.
Yeah, like I said, how many kids do you know that run up to you and like, oh my god, this thing that doesn't make sense and is not cohesive and or isn't a real thing, right? And you're like, okay, Jimmy, okay, Betsy, or whatever, you know, you're like, okay, go keep playing, and you're like, you look at everybody else who's an adult, and you're like, what the fuck
brainless. Yes,
you know, like kids just come up with like the most fantasy worlds and things and stuffs, right? And the way they portray it to you also is nonsensical because they don't give you reference points. So they're like, okay, Susie, she's a princess, and then we had a castle, and then like the castle got knocked down, and then you're like, okay, well, that story doesn't make sense because of I don't know what you're talking about, because they were talking about a sand castle that, you know, they ruled and then they knocked over.
But Slim, you're just not smart enough to understand it. Yeah, you're not a flat earther.
I'm the dumb one, totally. Welcome back, Commander. Anyways, let's blow on with this idiocracy. All right, so here we blow.
When he was 33. His earliest memories date back to when he was about 8 years old. Faust describes his abductors as beings with large pear-shaped heads and almond-shaped eyes, and he felt a strange familiarity with them, reacting as if he knew them, which was odd. Seeking help and someone to hopefully tell him what was happening, he found John E. Mack, a psychiatrist who believed that the emotional intensity attached to such memories indicated they were more than just dreams. Under relaxation techniques and regression therapy, Faust was able to recall more details about his abductions.
And what do we know about all of those kinds of therapies?
memory implantation thingy.
Can
She
I
means.
can I also say that all he can think back to when he was 8 years old? I can think long before then. Maybe 2, 3. They're my earliest memories, and I think everyone else is the same. 8 years old, back in hell, I knew exactly where I was. Probably on this day at 8 years.
Yeah, and we all have I believe most of us that are here that are watching this still and or on the panel, we have come to understand that regression therapy and blah 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 therapy is just implanting memories into people's brains that are leading them on a thing, almost like you can do with police interrogations. Investigators have to be really, really careful about how they lead the person who is the eyewitness or involved in the case. You can't be like, so did you see a guy with a red shirt and jeans and that was a black male? You know what I'm saying? You have to be like, no, what did you see? What did
If you say they're black, then they'll always say yes.
Sure. Or you're gonna have somebody whose memories are gonna go, maybe that was it? You know, or you know what I'm saying? Like you can't lead the witness technically, even though that's in court and not in investigations and or when you're trying to get an eyewitness to give you a statement. But that's the whole thing. When you go through these therapies that they're talking about, you're being led into it. And so then your brain will be like, oh yeah, there was a window open, and in the window there was wind, and then then you can keep making a story off of being led into that false memory. And we have come to understand like there's a lot of these false memory things because there was the satanic bullshit where they like did regression therapy to a bunch of fucking people, and then they told them they were molested in a satanic church and blah 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 and all these weird things, and then we came to find out that was not really the fucking thing.
Yeah, it was probably
he describes being physically
Yeah, it was during the satanic panic, and they brought in a handful of like 30-year-olds or around their 25 and stuff, and then they like convinced them somehow through regression therapy that they were molested by satanic cults when they were kids by their parents, which is even more fucked up because they involved their parents into it, even though their parents had nothing to do with any of these fucking fake things. But they convinced people so they could sell books and make books.
Since when is the Catholic Church a satanic church? Sorry.
It is,
well,
it is.
They're the ones who do the most molestations.
It's evil anyway.
Yeah, no, it's definitely evil for sure for a lot of reasons. And my favorite thing that
don't you dare call the satanic church or the satanic temple evil.
There's some ridiculous like high level projection here going on. I gotta look into this. This is fucking wild.
Yes. So the satanic panic, which we've gone over multiple times, is fucking crazy because of like them making the panic a thing to some extent.
Yeah.
Actually, a lot of the extent. But anyways, let's keep blowing on with this and then listen to what this dude actually said about him going through these therapies.
Lifted and moved through a window into a spacecraft, which then transported him to another larger ship. During these abductions, he recalls being shown movies and pictures by the aliens and undergoing physical experiments, including sperm samples being taken from him. Now, what made Faust's story so convincing was the fact that he was skeptical about what he was.
As a kid, you know how scurry that is? Like, I don't know who was doing that, but if he was a teenager when this happened, that's scary.
Yeah, the priest probably took sperm samples.
No, and like I said, it might have just been Bubba with a fucking alien mask on.
But
was remembering as well.
Your mind can actually like a traumatic experience as can be transformed into something like this.
Yes,
Your mind can't do that to protect
too.
yourself.
Yeah,
From
trauma, for sure.
Yeah, so they're making
was not
it into
initially-
like this thing, but it's like it could be like a really terrible experience somebody had.
Yeah, no, that's the worst thing about this is they're misdirecting the trauma so that they can't get the help because now they're going to even feel weirder. They got molested by a alien creature.
So in
Actually
the
interested
last
in UFOs and
half
struggled with the
a
idea.
minute here, we've had both sides of it. People convincing people shit that never happened, and then people convincing people or suggesting that aliens did shit that was actually possibly, we don't know for sure, this is an alleged thing, but the potential that someone isn't getting help for a real trauma because they think they're crazy, that, because people won't believe them because it's a fucking alien thing.
Yeah, exactly. Hey D, welcome. So let's blow on and then again listen to what they say.
That aliens could have abducted him. His
Hello.
experiences were validated further when he interacted with other abductees, realizing that they shared similar experiences independently. To this day, Faust's experiences remain unverified and largely doubted among the medical and scientific community. A real experience?
Exactly.
Or is it just the trickery of the mind? I'll let you be the judge. Number 18.
No, we already know.
Elizabeth Clarer.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is we're just going to get into like the top 3 because it gets really interesting from there. Okay. I think it's here we go.
Asian and origin remains a mystery. Number 5.
Okay, number
Billy
5.
Meyer.
Let's go with here.
Born on February 3, 1937 in Bulak, Switzerland, Billy Meyer is a man who claims he had close encounters with extraterrestrial creatures starting when he was only 5 years old. He describes an encounter with an elderly entity named Spath, who communicated with him telepathically and supposedly took him aboard a metallic pear-shaped craft. These experiences, Meyer claims, were meant to
I'm going to claim the same thing as with the last one. Sorry, guys.
No, I'm on the same page with you.
accelerate the development of his mind and prepare him for his life's work. Throughout his life, Meyer continued to report contact with various extraterrestrial entities.
But what was that work and what did you do and how come none of us know who you are or you didn't do anything for the zeitgeist other than thinking you're special? But anyways, I digress.
Including a female entity named Dasket, who instructed him for over a decade. His experiences were not just limited to meetings and conversations. He also claimed to have been taken back in time to witness key historical events. This extensive travel and unusual preoccupation led Meyer to become isolated from others and made him a target for bullies during his youth. As he grew up, Meyer's belief about extraterrestrial creatures remained. He even documented his experiences through a book with over 24,000 documented transmissions he allegedly received from extraterrestrials. Whether they're true or not is another question. Number 4. Ashtar Galactic Command. Have you heard of the Ashtar Galactic Command? This isn't a single person, but an entity or group of entities who supposedly communicate with humans through various channels. George Van Tassel, a notable figure in the UFO contactee movement, was one of the first to claim to have received messages from Ashtar in 1952. Initially, these messages were focused more on the intervention in human scientific development rather than spiritual guidance. However, as the movement grew, the Ashtar teachings began to incorporate more spiritual dimensions, aligning with the narratives of ascended masters. One of the most well-known events associated with the Ashtar Galactic Command was the 1977 Southern television broadcast interruption in the UK. During a news program, an audio message claiming to be from Brilliant of the Ashtar Galactic Command was broadcasted, interrupting the regular programming. This message spoke about the need for peace and disarmament and warned of the destiny of the human race. The incident caused quite a stir, with many people alarmed and confused. Over time, the messages of Ashtar evolved. In the 1950s and 1960s, they were more focused on the physical arrival of extraterrestrial spacecraft to assist humans. However, as time went on and the predicted events did not occur, the teachings began to shift towards a more spiritual emphasis involving
Dog, what's that broadcast in Britain? Wasn't that proven to be faked?
Oh, they're all fake. All this is not that one over the Christmas tree. It's obviously on a rope. It's a pendulum. It's just swinging. This is like L. Ron Hubbard stuff in Scientology. You know these space, but which I believe is just a tax haven for the rich. That's all I think that is.
I think a tax haven for what's his name?
Tom Cruise.
David Miscavige, the guy that took over from Hubbard. That David Miscavige guy is bad news. Yeah, David Miscavige is still alive, but
okay.
But they found his wife finally. She went missing for like 8 years or
They
some
found
goddamn
they
thing.
found they
They
found her.
found
Is
his
she
wife.
alive?
I heard that very recently that they found her alive. And
Side chat.
yeah, we should do a Miscavige show. Although
No,
we
we can't.
we'll
We
have to hide.
can't.
We have to put masks on and hide our identity because he'll come down
No,
and
we
hunt us.
can't. They
Why?
immediately, the last time we did a Scientology thing, they immediately copyright claimed me. They took it down. They like, no, we can't. We can't, unfortunately.
Really?
They're
Okay.
yeah. They have lawyers in every single state that
Oh, I
will
know
try
they're
to
fucking
sue you.
mental.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's
like I said, we can't.
that's how I ended up here. I know I've said that before, but I ended
Yeah.
up here in a weird roundabout way due to Scientology, because that's how I started looking into all this weird shit. Because I
Yeah,
met people that were into it, and it is fucked up.
Yeah, unfortunately, we can't do anything about thems anymore. I'd
But
love
what Dog
to.
said
We
was the
can't.
first thing I thought was the same thing Dog said. Is like, this sounds like just like better. It's better crap than L. Ron Hubbard came up with.
Yeah, yeah. I know it
It's
sounds
like
exactly like
Scientology,
on the
but
same
good.
pages of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
We may go over Xenu and just not mention the S word,
But can we not, like, we can talk about them, we just can't use their materials, right?
I don't know, but we did one thing barely about them, and they totally like did a bunch of fucking weird shit that like I don't want to fucking deal with, and I'm not going to talk about 100% because I don't want them to do that again.
They're a bunch of kayaks that involve an unnecessary feminine hygiene product. That's all I can say.
Yeah, no, totally.
Well, I just think it's a tax haven. Still.
Yeah, no,
no,
you're
totally.
right, Dog. It's a big tax
But
bullshit thing.
in one state here in the Americas, Scientology just got denounced. The church got denounced from their religious status, so they now have to pay taxes if they want to survive in that state. I don't remember. I want to say Michigan or something, but I don't remember what state it is. But anyways,
they should spread that around to a few other religions too, maybe.
All of
well,
it,
and or just
I'd like to see that
Scientology
happen, but
to multiple.
But I mean,
places
at least Scientology. But like, I mean, really, Scientology was just modeled after other religions. That's what Hubbard said. He's like, I just gotta make it. This is what Dog's talking about. This is, I gotta make it into a religion so I can not have to pay taxes.
And I really wish they would tax the fucking Ark Museum. That is not motherfucking religious. It's not science. And if it was science, then you shouldn't have it branded under religion. So you should pay the taxes on it. And I already heard their numbers are so far down that they're probably not going to be. It's not going to be a thing in the next couple of years. If you look at
the thing
projections.
is, see, I'm all for a religious tax, but obviously you don't want it to be. I don't know what your tax is there, the rate is there at the moment, but it should be half the rate of, say, income tax and things like that. But they need to start giving to society and stop fucking grifting and taking off the fucking gullible and vulnerable. I think it's fucking wrong. But I know you can donate so much to a church, can't you? And
if they'd put it back,
but churches don't pay any taxes.
Right.
They don't pay any taxes.
They should be showing receipts for what they're pushing back out into the community as aid and help, and you know, because
they should be
back in the day. A lot of them used to, and some of them probably still do. Many, maybe it's the majority, but the grifters make them all look like a bunch of scam artists. Really,
we know Greg Locke. Fucking Ken Ham, we know
Ken Hovind and Ken Copeland. Like, look at Kenneth Copeland, and Ken Ham with his art park. Like, all these guys are just garbage.
Yeah, no, they're making millions of dollars because they're not fucking Dr. Dino, because they're not.
Yeah, that's Ken Hovind. That's Ken Hovind, same guy.
And his son. Anyways, they're making zillions of dollars and not paying any taxes. Yeah, exactly. Well, I don't want to say worse because it literally Ken Hovind is a fucking.
I won't say worse. I mean, he's a hard act to follow, but that guy, he has some really rough takes. And there's also some of the other people that are just mouthpieces and apologists for apologists for apologists are just
Yeah.
unbelievable too, right? Like,
Yeah, totally. All right, so let's keep blowing on with a little bit more of this. I'm going to grab another burr, and then we'll get on to another subject.
Transformation and spiritual evolution. The movement has seen its fair share of internal conflicts, failed prophecies, and changes in direction, but it didn't stop its believers from spreading their claims. Number 3. Simon Parkes. Simon Parkes was a former British city councillor. I know, that's among the last type of people you'd expect to be involved with extraterrestrials. Parkes, who was a councillor in Whitby, has recounted various encounters with aliens, starting from an early age. He believes his real mother is a 9-foot-tall alien with 8 fingers, and describes his first encounter with her when he was just 6 months old. According to Parkes, this alien entity communicated with him telepathically, claiming to be his more important mother. Parkes' experiences don't stop there. He claims to have had numerous encounters throughout his life, including being taken aboard an alien craft at the age of 11. In one of the most astonishing claims, Parkes asserts that he fathered a child with an extraterrestrial being he calls the Cat Queen. This claim, along with his other experiences,
This sounds like just a fantasy this dude has, and he just
Look
wants
at his
this to be
bedroom.
fucking real.
He probably still lives with his mum. Look how old he is. Look at his bedroom. Look at the fucking toys and the shit he's got behind him. It's just fucking nonsense.
Yeah, there's no way he has a wife or kids or anything. He definitely lives with his parents still. And there's nothing wrong with that. But
no.
Here we go with this craziness. And again, I think this is just something he fucking imagined in his fucking brain.
Has been shared in various interviews and documentaries, including the Anomalous Mind Management Abductee Contactee Helpline Project. Parkes insists that these experiences haven't hindered his ability to perform his duties as a counselor. He mentions that his focus has always been on local issues, like fixing leaking roofs and potholes, rather than on extraterrestrial encounters. Now, the most interesting thing is that Parkes isn't the only politician who believes in extraterrestrials.
Totally.
Paul Hellyer, Canada's former Minister of National Defense, also believes in the existence of aliens and UFOs. Like Parkes, Hellyer has spoken about the presence of various alien species with different agendas visiting Earth for thousands of years. Number 2.
Because he has what proof, and how does he? And anyways.
Is that guy from my country?
Travis Walton.
I recognize that name.
This is the one that I was talking about earlier about that I didn't want to go over. It's the lumberjack in the middle of the fucking wilderness that disappeared for 3 days or 2 weeks. I don't remember. But here we blow.
In November 1975, Travis Walton, a logger from Arizona, reportedly vanished while working with his crew in the Apache Sitgreaves National Forests. The crew claimed they saw a UFO hovering, and that Walton was struck by a beam of light from the craft before disappearing. Walton reappeared 5 days later with a bizarre story of being aboard an alien spaceship. The incident quickly escalated into a sensational story, attracting immense media attention. Walton's account of his experience includes details of being examined by alien creatures and encountering human-like beings on the spacecraft. He described a room filled with stars, akin to a planetarium, and his interactions with these otherworldly beings. According to Walton, he initially believed these encounters to be hostile, influenced by the typical Hollywood portrayal of aliens. However, over time, he came to interpret these events as a possible rescue mission, speculating that he might have been accidentally injured by the craft and that the beings were...
Yeah, let's get this straight. You had an affair and your friends covered for you, you fucker.
I mean,
or once again, hold on right quick. Or once again, it is your friends got you really drunk or high and cornholed you, and you wanted to, that you felt like you saw this. The other thing about this, there's a conspiracy theory inside of this conspiracy theory. Yes, it's the fire in the sky thing. That the loggers might have almost accidentally killed him, either by hitting him in the head with something or like machinery going wrong.
Or a tree, man, you could
hitting him or something, right?
Tree all the damn time.
And so what they think may have happened is they hid the body, thinking that homie was dead, and they were trying to not go to jail for killing somebody because of negligence, either because of a fight or something. And then homie ended up still being alive, and then they just were able to spin this story with him or what they told the authorities before they found his body, because I think 3 days after is when they contacted authorities, and then for like a week they were like he was still missing. Then all of a sudden he appeared and then he has this weird story. So there is a conspiracy
They
that
caught a lucky break there after. That does sound like
yeah,
pretty.
and they could have convinced
believable.
him. Yeah, they could have convinced him something happened and blah blah blah. Because what happens when you have a concussion? You believe
man,
anything, and you think you see crazy shit.
Not all the
you know?
time, but yeah, I mean, you could definitely have
no.
like you definitely, and somebody's super suggestible, or like they actually did see light, or who the fuck knows.
Yeah, no. If he got hit by a fucking tractor, so he saw a bright light, and then all of a sudden he got knocked the fuck out. Does he know if it came from the sky, or does he know
it was the work lights from the machine?
Yeah, exactly. Does he know it came from the sky, or does he just know that he saw a bright light and then got knocked the fuck out and had a dream? And then when he woke up,
you were talking about lightning before. Like someone could actually just be hit by lightning. It doesn't actually cook them or kill them, but they knocks them down, knocks them out. They may have all sorts of weird shit go on in their brain after that.
Especially when we look at what people have gone through near-death experiences. They say they go to hell, they see demons, blah blah blah. They see heaven, they see angels, they see everything. Why would people not have an alien experience or experience with something with beings that they didn't understand what they were seeing until they came back into consciousness? There's so many reasons why any of these things could have happened, especially if they were trying to hide something. Like they got him all fucking fucked up on nitrous oxide. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? There's so many things. And then they all like ran a train on him. Well, homie doesn't want to remember that, and they don't want to admit that. And you know what I'm saying? Like there's so many things that could have happened in the middle of the fucking forest that
were trying to heal him. The incident and Walton's subsequent disappearance led to a police investigation, with the logging crew undergoing polygraph tests. The results indicated they were truthful about not harming Walton, but questions and doubts remained. Walton himself faced skepticism and disbelief when he reappeared. Walton has spoken in interviews about his experience.
Yeah, like somebody, like everybody's saying, a tree falling, lightning, a handful of other things could have happened in the middle of the fucking forest, and everybody ran away or left him out there. They didn't intentionally harm him, but something fucking happened in the middle of the forest that nobody knows and can explain to this day.
Experience, expressing frustration at the skepticism and disbelief he faced. He believes that his story, along with the recent government acknowledgments of UFO encounters, points to a reality where extraterrestrial encounters are a plausible phenomenon.
Yeah, except for all of the encounters of UFOs that the government is claiming. They don't say that they're alien. They're just saying that there's anomalies that are happening. We don't know exactly what's happening with those anomalies. So who knows? All right, let's see. Let's try to go through this one right quick. I don't remember.
In all our lives of covering weird stories, myths, facts, and anything that sparks your curiosity, we have never told a story that is as surreal as this one. This story has elements of time travel and impossibilities that could make you jaw-dropped. But before we get into the MC of today's story, let's take a small detour to the Brazilian Amazon rainforest, across the states of Para and Mato Grosso. This is where the Kayapo people lived as happy people. They are one of the many tribes of the Great Mebengokre Nation, which translates to people from the water source. These people were normally nomads who lived off hunting and fishing. Everything was going well for the people until one night. The Kayapo people heard some strange sounds coming from Serapukatoti, a mountain that already caused distrust and fear to the natives because it was always covered in fog. And sometimes...
I'm going to say this right quick before we get further into this because I forgot exactly what this was. We're not going to downplay the natives not understanding things that are happening. Let's just put it that way. Obviously, in a second, we'll get there in a second.
They could hear mysterious noises, followed by lightning. This was way before any form of modern civilization, so mostly any natural changes in any way were seen as an act of God. But this night, the noise was different and more frightening, like nothing they had ever heard. And to top it off, they saw something descending from the sky and landed in the same mysterious mountain of Serapukatoti. Some people described what they saw as a large, noisy star, others as a flying boat, and others as a spherical shape, which many would come to say is a classic UFO ship. Either way, one thing was certain. It was something they'd never seen before.
If we were going to look at all three of those all together, what can somebody, any of us assume it was?
Any group of people before they encountered science, like, yeah, you don't know what it all is, but like, yeah, this could be an eruption or an
No, it was a motherfucking meteorite, a something falling through space, the atmosphere that was being burnt up. Because what they said is this bright light, this thing in these three different forms, and the reason why some of them would say it was probably a boat was because that was the only vehicle that they could ever explain that you know what I'm saying? Like, they don't know what a car is. They don't know what so what's the easiest reference that you would have for something that moves through the sky in a certain way, like a boat? And then the first one is a fucking noisy star. And then the last one is just.
And of course, like the meteor, it has a tail. And like the other person that said it was a star, like they probably saw it like, oh, it comes from the sky. It's probably a falling star.
Well, and once again, direction. If you see it coming this way, it looks like a ball. If you see it going this way, it looks like a long thing.
Yeah.
Correct? So once again, it most likely, and then the way they said it was, this thing fell out of the sky and hit the mountain that was the mysterious mountain that they don't like to go to because of superstition. What is the only thing that does that? I mean, normally UFOs don't just fall out of the motherfucking sky and just crash into things. What does that most likely? A fucking comet or asteroid or something that falls out of the motherfucking space,
or drunk driver.
Right?
Oh.
Yeah, no, totally. It was the drunk canoeist that fucking
the drunk canoeist from Mars.
Yeah, exactly. Totally. So
we'll talk
once
about
again,
that one later.
Yeah, so once again, let's keep blowing on with what they claim to have seen, and then the other things that happen, because we're only a minute into this and it's 15 minutes. So obviously this is just the beginning of what they said that they saw.
Either way, one thing was certain. It was something they'd never seen before. They couldn't go that night, but by morning, the bravest soldiers had gone to look for signs of the object. As they climbed the mountain, they could smell something very strange. And suddenly, through the clouds, they saw a giant being with a strange body. The being was all white from head to toe and had a single eye that stuck out of its body. The being was very huge, like a giant. The being also carried a silver rod that shined from the end, and by touching trees and rocks with the rod, he could make them disappear. This was already scary to the soldiers, but the tribes fight.
I got a big silver rod.
Okay, so,
never mind.
So now that we've gotten into here, let's delve into the next basic information. A jet pilot crashed in the mountains and still has their helmet on. That they've never seen before, right? They've never seen a helmet. They don't know what a helmet is. That's why it looks like one eye, and it's literally just their visor. And then all the other things on there in this,
but when was this? Because they said this was before, like, civilization or something. So that before civilization in their area, or and then again, they are a civilization. So I think
definitely.
Yeah, but surely evolution, no matter what planet you're on, would evolve two eyes for perspective, wouldn't it? Really, it's just the way evolution works.
That most likely, yeah.
So why would aliens have one eye?
Because they're inferior to us.
Well, no, obviously
that's
not.
What the white supremacists would say. That's what the white supremacists would say.
But anyways,
they can reach us. They're obviously far superior. Technology beyond our means, but you can't make.
You're right on.
One eye.
that depends. Like if they are a civilization that started millions and millions and millions years earlier than us, then they're not necessarily superior. Because are we superior to our ancestors? No, we aren't.
Not superior, but better. But anyways, let's
No,
just
we've had more
assume.
time
Hold on.
to advance, and that's
Yes,
the same thing.
Yeah. Well, but more, anyways. So let's assume the other thing that they saw was a being that had a metal object that could cut down plants. Sounds like a machete. Especially no, and it sounds well.
Oh yeah.
Let's just go with the easiest answer. Let's say a machete, because they wouldn't know what that was yet. You know what I'm saying? They've never seen a flat blade that could just cut everything down.
No,
right? It may look amazing to them, and when it hits things, it makes things explode almost to some extent.
Yeah, but you're
I'm
talking
just
about
going
a
with-
race of people that get high by licking frogs.
Yeah.
Or maybe they just licked the wrong frog and got super high.
And they just saw this being that wasn't even there, or it was, like I said, something else, and they just assumed it was aliens. You know what I'm saying? Like, so anyways, let's blow on.
Fighters couldn't act scared, so they chose to attack the being. But every form of attack didn't work, because the being easily repelled them back. With a touch of the being's baton, fighters were made to sleep, like they were hit with tranquilizers. The warriors ran away when they realized they couldn't win. The natives could not tell what this creature was. All they saw was something in a suit made of straw, which according to their folklore looked like this. That place where the event happened would come to be known as the Forbidden Mountain, and after that, no one would go there. Even till today, no one can go there. The locals did that as a quarantine zone.
Who's stopping you from going there?
I'm
a little sus about
local,
that.
No, the local government probably put in laws to actually prevent you from going there.
Okay.
Like that is the thing.
I
Like
see
that is like respecting the native culture. Like yeah.
Or there's resources there they don't want you to dig up or to get to, and so maybe just the local government's like, let us mine this, or let us work this land, or whatever, and they don't tell the natives or something. I don't know. But anyways, like literally, that's all they show. And then like,
isn't nobody going to question the wicker basket spacesuit?
Well, that's what I was going to show you in a second. Is it looks like a space suit. Once again, if you are a flight, if you are in jets and or you were flying single and double engine basic aircrafts back in the day, you needed more padding on you, because once you get to certain levels of elevation, you're going to start freezing or getting cold. So you may just had a bunch of fucking padding, like a couple of jackets on, or you had insulated pants and a basic helmet or anything. I mean, literally, it's these natives could be getting not misunderstanding so many things, just like thinking that it looks like a spacesuit. It probably didn't look that wide or that big until, like we said about the fish story, the 15th time that fucking the wisest grandpa or the oldest grandpa in the village told the story, and they made these fucking wicker basket suits. It wasn't that they were this big, you know what I'm saying? Maybe it was just a small little suit. Anyways, this still doesn't prove aliens, you know what I'm saying?
I'm still going with hallucination-inducing frog, to be honest.
Sure. I'm down with that for sure. So, anyways, everyone, the other things are like, a little bit longer, and we'll go ahead and get into another alien stream in the near future because I have a lot more to go over.
Ooh,
but we're
interesting.
going to leave it at that. And yeah, and I have a bunch of crazy, insane stuff about like the aliens from Nibiru and
Nibiru. We're gonna talk about
there's
Scooby-Doo.
yeah, totally. And then like somebody found a cave to the inner earth, and things like that. I have so much silly, fun stuff to get into in the near future. Tomorrow is Pip's stream. If I get snowed in, I will be on there. Otherwise, I will be in Longmont at the Junkyard Social doing a show. And if it's snowing too much, I will stay there overnight at a hotel. I'm not gonna drive home at midnight. And hopefully I can get somebody to keep me warm, but we'll see about that.
We'll talk about that one later.
Yeah, and
because we want to
Monday
see the details.
Yes, and then Monday I will be getting tattooed. So if it doesn't get rescheduled, yeah, then we won't be doing crazy shit. If we do, I haven't 100% figured out what the subject is yet. I keep ebbing and flowing about the crystal skulls and a couple other subjects that I can't remember off the top of my head that I'm just not. Oh, like most important moments or the most craziest moments about January 6th, because Trump is still in the running, and like we need to just like keep pushing him down further and further, even though he's pretty much doing that with himself by all the fucking up that he's done during his speeches and at the conventions and stuff that he's been talking at. So anyways, and then we're gonna do Bizarre Food Tuesday, and I have the Scorpions here. So for $50, I will eat a scorpion live on stream on Tuesday for sure. And we're gonna hopefully get that to happen, because I already paid my friend a bunch of money for these, and I didn't realize how cheap they were until but he already had them and he gave them to me, and I don't mind paying him a bunch of money for them. So Tuesday we'll do that. Wednesday will be Drunk News Report. I don't know exactly what we're gonna do for that. And then Thursday it was gonna be aliens. We did that today, so I think we'll do MAGA lunatics say stupid things.
Isn't that quite double? MAGA lunatics.
Yeah, no, I know. But we'll be going over that stuff on a Thursday, and then next weekend I will be in Colorado Springs for a hot rod and motorcycle convention, and then I'll be performing at the tattoo competition on Sunday. So thank you all very much, and we're just gonna get the fuck out of here because I don't. Is there anything anybody wants to promote before we get out of here?
Yeah, go look in Slim's Discord. There's probably somewhere the links to support Mango.
Yeah, and
she still doesn't have everything figured out money wise. So
okay, well, that's why I wish she would have, but I get it. So we'll talk to you all later, and thank you very much for being here and having fun with us. Please like, subscribe, hit the bell notifications, and comment if you could to help us with the algorithms. We are slowly building our way back up. But after YouTube did a handful of changes, we've been a little bit stagnant, but that's okay. We don't do that exactly for monetizations and the other things. I do it to have fun with all of you and to go over crazy, insane shit that I fucking find. And I'm like, God damn it, I got to share this with people. Otherwise, I'm going to go insane if I don't share this with people. So thank you very much. Everybody say bye.
Bye.
Bye.